Welcome to Math with Huang. Today we're going to talk about how do I graph a linear function using the slope and the y-intercept when you're given y equal mx plus b in 3 simple steps. So here we're given a linear equation y equal a half x minus 3 where it's in the format of mx plus b. What's the first step? The first step is to identify the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept is the number by itself. The number by itself here is -3. So the y-intercept is equal to -3. Once you identify the y-intercept, plot it on the y-axis. Y-intercept, y-axis. So -1, -2, -3. Plot a dot right there and label it. That's your starting point. Second step, we're going to now identify the slope and use the slope as a direction to locate your second point. Now, the key here, many students make this mistake. Slope is not a point. Slope is the direction. It tells you where to find your second point. So what's the slope in this case? Well, the slope is the coefficient in front of x. It's the number in front of x. What's in front of x today? Well, it's 1/2. The slope is 1/2. Now, the slope is rise over run. 1/2 means you're going to start at where the y-intercept is. That's your starting point. And you use the slope 1/2, meaning you rise by 1 and go over by 2 and locate your second dot. Now you can do this again to come up with a couple more points so that you're sure they are all on a straight line. Okay? 1/2, up by 1, over by 2, rise, overrun. So now we move on to our last step. All we have to do now is connect the dots. Make it look nice. Add in your arrows because the line is continuous. Label your graph. And there you go. You have sketched a linear equation using the slope and the y-intercept. Well, let's try another one. Here I have another equation in the format of mx plus b, -3/2x plus 5. What was our first step? Identify the y-intercept and plot it on the y-axis. So y-intercept is the number by itself. The number by itself is a +5. So we're going to plot that on the y-axis right here, and that's 5. Second step. Now we're going to look at the slope. The slope is the direction, right? Again, it's not a point. Don't plot it at -3 and 2 on the axes. The slope in this case is -3/2. Now, it's always easier to put the negative side on top. That way, it tells you a negative slope, you're going downwards instead of going upwards. Negative slope, you're always going downwards. So this is the direction, rise over run. So instead of going up by 3, because it's a negative number, now I'm going to go down by 3 and go over to the right by 2. Down by 3, 1, 2, 3, and right by 2. So this is my dot, second dot. Again, let's do it one more time. Make sure we're getting it right. Going down by 3, over to right by 2. Here's my third dot. The slope is a direction, not a point. Now, third step. Connect the dots that we have. Add in arrows for it's a continuous line, and label the equation, which is y equal -3 over 2x plus 5. And there you go. Let's summarize again. How do I graph a linear function using the slope and the y-intercept? Step 1, identify the y-intercept and plot it on the y-axis. The y-intercept is the number by itself. Then step number 2, use the slope as a direction to locate your second point. You have a rise and a run. How far do you go up? How far do you go to the right? Use that as a direction to find your second point. Then connect the dots and you're done. Thank you for watching.